Hey guys, and how about we watch a death battle, Boba Fett versus Samus Aran Remastered. So if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? But click here to follow this nice little annotation box, and you'll go straight to their video on their channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, then come back here and we'll watch it together. However, I have already seen this death battle. I watched it a couple weeks ago during their live event, and if you weren't able to attend the live event, well, you should in the future, because it was actually quite a bit of fun. However, for this recording, I've just kind of modified it, I've altered it, I've edited it, there we go, so that it's just the death battle itself, not the whole event. So yeah, if I say things that don't quite make sense in the context of this video, that's why. It's because I was referring to the live event. But with that said, let's get to watching. What are they going through the analyses, including like Zero Suit? Oh, that was sweet. I'm gonna get a drink.
Bounty hunting, one of the most respected and fun jobs in the world.
I don't know about respected, but certainly a daring profession only for the strong and bold.
Boba Fett, the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy.
And Samus Aran, a hunter so determined she'll
Like,
sacrifice a
of course they had to
reach her
redo
goal.
it because of,
He
yeah,
would
Wiz and
not
Boomstick
boomstick.
themselves.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah, death battle. This be good.
Boba Fett is unnatural in more ways than one. He was not born into the galaxy, rather created as a clone of the fearsome bounty hunter Jango Fett.
Not fearsome enough, though. He tended to get ahead of himself.
Well,
As
Boom.
his father, Jango taught Boba all he knew about his profession. And despite being orphaned at age 10, Boba continued to live the hunter's life, eventually donning his father's armor and claiming his rightful place as the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Complete with the most badass spacesuit ever. His Mandalorian armor. It's got a micro-energy field that disperses impacts and is made up of Mandalorian iron.
Okay, at this point I think it's safe to assume every universe has some metal stronger than titanium. Though to this one's credit, it's actually a lot heavier, sacrificing mobility for durability. In fact, it's so durable, it resists lightsabers. You know, the swords that can cut through anything.
That's pretty good.
His gauntlets
Without being
house a
cortosis, you
flamethrower,
know.
Fiber cord whip, and numerous concussion and stun missiles. But his weapon of choice is his EE-3 carbine rifle, which Fett often cradles like a child. There, EE. Daddy's here. Killing time soon.
That's creepy.
See, that plays out so
my
much
favorite
better
thing in Boba's bag is
than, like,
his
you know,
badass jetpack.
Ben's pilot.
Which he uses for short-range travel and to gain a mobility advantage over his foes. While it can only hold enough fuel for a single minute's worth of flight,
Wow, that
its
can go
velocity
fast.
reaches up to 90 miles per
Yeah,
hour.
dang.
The jetpack also has a single anti-vehicle homing missile, because when you've got space for a missile, why not?
In short, Boba Fett is a human Swiss Army knife. He's killed hundreds of criminals, politicians, and Jedi, and battled Mace Windu to a draw when he was only 12 years old.
An accomplishment so
Which I
manly,
haven't seen,
it
but-
instantly kickstarted his puberty.
But for all his skill, Fett has one great, inescapable weakness: the Sarlacc pit. This flaw is so unavoidable, he was knocked into the pit by a blind and physically drained Han Solo while wearing a jetpack.
I wonder if they're gonna
Since Disney bought Star
include the
Wars
Sarlacc
and
pit in
picked
there.
The expanded universe, this is where Boba Fett's story officially ends.
Now time for Samus. Yeah.
But that's stupid, so here's what happened in the expanded universe.
Yes.
Using a combination of his jetpack and blowing himself up, Fett actually escaped the Sarlacc.
Oh.
He later became leader of the Mandalorian warriors after the Galactic Civil War, and even held his own against Darth Vader.
I appreciated how they pulled that though.
twice.
That was good.
While using one of several lightsabers he's taken from his Jedi kills. And that's pretty goddamn impressive. But you know what's even more impressive?
The fact that he can actually use
the
it.
time he trained Han Solo's Jedi daughter so that she could kill an evil, all-powerful Sith
Oh.
Lord, who just so happened to be her own brother. Spoilers.
Thanks,
Fortunately,
Boomstick.
Fett's greatest weakness still remains that toothy sand vagina.
He has fallen into the Sarlacc a total of 3 times. 3! And the Sarlacc's not exactly running around looking for snacks. It's a freaking hole in the ground.
And again, he can fly! Fun fact, every year following his escape, Boba Fett returns to the planet Tatooine
I don't think so.
just to shoot the Sarlacc in a spaceship from orbit. He's learned his lesson. He's staying as far away from that shit as he possibly
Still
can.
falls in somehow.
Fear of teethy holes aside, few have survived once he's set his sights on them. Boba Fett is a whole new meaning of deadly.
No disintegrations.
As you wish.
Now Samus. Okay, here we go.
When she was young, Samus Aran lived with her family on Earth
Aww,
colony K2L,
he's so cute.
until one fateful day when it was sacked by an army of space pirates led by the vile Ridley, a giant purple space dragon.
Ridley murdered her parents right in front of her, along with the rest of the planet.
Oh.
Literally everyone except for Samus. So PTSD therapists were in pretty short supply.
Thankfully, Samus was rescued by the Chozo, bird-like aliens who raised her to become a warrior.
I didn't know about any of this.
She was infused with Chozo DNA, increasing her strength,
I mean, I know this
speed,
stuff.
and
I didn't know the-
ability far
yeah.
beyond those of a normal human being.
So, does she now have a bad habit of pecking at food and shitting on people's cars?
No. She wears the power suit, typically in Varya form, shielding her entire body without restricting any movement or flexibility.
Too bad it makes her look like a dude.
Well,
Though underneath, she wears the skin-tight Zero suit.
There we go! They must call it that because there's literally zero left to the imagination. While in that Zero suit, she carries a paralyzer pistol, a gun which can, well, paralyze
yes.
people and turn into a laser.
Aha!
But she definitely prefers the power suit in most combat situations. As a modified version of Chozo battle armor developed specifically for Samus, it can also be upgraded to adapt to any environment.
Samus
I should
carries
play a
powerful
Metroid game
arm
sometime.
cannon as her primary weapon, and she's found quite a few upgrades for it over the years. Though the basic power beam is a pea shooter, when you charge it up, it'll blow your face clean off. She can also set it to blast an ice beam, grapple beam, and tons of seeking and
Lots of
super
cool
missiles.
beams then.
Her Chozo training lets Samus control the skies with a speedy screw attack, and curl into
She
her
can just do that
mortal
multiple
form
times?
to
What?
traverse places few others can.
How the hell does she do that?
Bird DNA, Boomstick. Bird DNA.
Birds
Yeah,
don't do
because
that.
we all know how many times you scare a bird in the parking lot and then it curls up into a ball and zooms away.
Alien bird DNA.
Well then, F that planet and its birds. But I do like their power bombs, which Samus carries and can use to destroy anything in the general vicinity in seconds.
Samus
Well,
is known as the
anything.
bounty hunter capable of taking on impossible missions, fighting massive beasts, and even wiping out an entire species.
Genocide.
All but one. Talk about having the rarest pet in the universe. And it makes a cute hat.
Aw.
However, she often makes mistakes. Somehow, she always seems to lose all her power-ups and upgrades at the beginning of every mission.
How has she not gotten a purse yet?
Well, even when she does have all her arsenal at her disposal, it doesn't guarantee its use. For example, she once entered a volcano and did not activate her thermal systems until halfway through the mission, all because she was waiting for permission.
Oh.
Oh, can we please not talk about that game?
But don't worry,
Wow.
Samus has proven time and time again to be one of the deadliest hunters in the galaxy. Outlaws everywhere fear the name of Samus Aran.
Time to go.
Oh, that was cool. I'm like, what's happening? That was all inside. That was nice.
All right, the combatants
Here
are
we
set.
go.
Let's end
This is
debate
gonna be
once and
really
for
cool
all.
looking.
It's time for a death battle!
Okay, go, go,
Remastered!
go. It's always, you know, shoot first, ask questions later, so we're good. Ooh. Ooh. Good thing she ejected, because that looks pretty nasty. This looks really cool so far. Like, is this just 3D animation? What would you call it? If not. That was cool! I don't know what they're talking about. They're showing Boba with some really awesome mobility. Oh, ow. Ooh. Ooh, lightsaber time. Oh, you can't. I don't know if that's quite comparable. And off with his head. That was cool.
Fett put up a fight to the best of his ability, but Samus's superior technology and athletic skill trumped him in every way.
While Fett may be more durable and physically stronger, Samus has dealt with foes like that all her life.
Boba Fett really didn't have the means necessary to catch Samus, let alone perfectly counter Samus's powerbomb, screw attack,
This one
and
looked
ice
really, really cool.
Sure, Boba's killed plenty of Jedi and survived a run-in with Vader, but his greatest victories usually stem from his cunning. He's a master of playing his enemies into his hands.
But when it comes to Samus, Fett had little to work with. Samus specifically modeled her bounty hunter career around anonymity. She's even commonly mistaken as a man by the very people who want to hire her, making it extremely difficult for Fett to get a read on her.
Fett just couldn't keep his head in the game.
The winner is Samus Aran.
Yay! Claps for Samus. Is there next time?
Next
There is a next time.
on Death
See
Battle.
what it is. You thought he was unmatched. Chuck Norris? They're actually having Chuck Norris fight? I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, I don't think I have. Wow. Chuck Norris versus Segata Sanshiro. That'll be interesting. They're doing more people! These are actually people! I'm down. Okay, let's do it. This is very into credits! Ah! This is See, this is how you end an event like this. Like the first Death Battle Live, the remaster of the very first episode after 4 years of having the show. This is how you run the ending credits. Yeah, I know they rocked this one. Okay. I'm satisfied, very satisfied. Monty, like, wait, I don't recognize these fights. Oh, wow, he had some cool stuff then. Thank you, Monty Owen. We owe you a lot. Alright, so hey, that was Death Battle Live. I will briefly talk about the animation and just the event as a whole, so let's get to that. So yeah, just briefly, considering I made a lot of my comments during the video or immediately after the battle itself, but you know, just briefly. So with the battle, it looked so cool. It was so cool looking, right? It was awesome. Torian did an amazing job. Like, I know Torian's done a few videos already in the past. I think just every time he's getting better and better. That's from what I've seen, and that could just be wholly subjective, or it could have been because of the hype of this moment, but I thought the fight was really, really cool looking. I did think at first that the model for Zero Suit was a little bit awkward, but that's not something that I can blame him, you know, it looked a little bit awkward to me. But the way that it all played out, it was so awesome, and I loved seeing like all the my favorite part was the acrobatics of it, dodging and everything, like, you know, when Boba is firing his flamethrower and Samus is just jumping around, and just all those different things. It was just really, really cool to see. I did question Boba's mobility during the animation itself, and while I know that the animation isn't what determines the winner, you know, I did question it. But if he is wearing a different kind of armor than, you know, what they talked about during the analyses, or if they mentioned the new armor and I just missed it, then hey, you know, that could help. But just, I thought that his armor really affected his mobility, and he was doing some awesome things. Like, he was doing really awesome things. Some of the stuff where he'd just like dodge and slide back, and it looked so cool where like I made a noise involuntarily during the recording. But it was really cool to see. What else was it? Oh, with his mobility though, like, he did take on Jedi in the past, and so if it wasn't just because of his cunning, then I could see him, of course, he has to have some sort of mobility. So even if they say he has limited mobility, it doesn't mean he can't move or anything. So I do understand that, and either way, it was really awesome. You know, no different feelings about the results of the fight, because I already knew what the results were gonna be before watching this. It was just cool. As for the event itself, it was really fun. You know, I enjoy seeing the Q&As that they've had at different panels. I haven't attended panels, but you know, they post the recordings of them. So it was really cool just to see them talking. I'm glad that Torian was added to Screw Attack, you know, the Screw Attack team. Kudos to him. He's done a great job, and I look forward to seeing more of his work in the future. You know, he seems like a nice guy. And just such good animation. It is fun seeing all the personalities there together. You know, the people behind, you know, the whiz and boomstick that we know and all of that. I did think it was kind of odd how we had, you know, so many trending questions and everything with, you know, hashtag Death Battle Live, and not a ton were answered. I want to say like fewer than 10. I could be wrong, but it didn't seem like a lot were answered, and I thought that that was going to be a bigger part of this event. Then again, I also thought that this event was going to be longer, because really it was only about an hour. So that's fine, you know, if it's only going to be that long and you're going to show, you know, the pilot episode along with the little, you know, like, tribute to Monty Oum, and then the remastered edition, you know, analysis and the actual battle, you know, it makes sense. That's going to take a lot of time, and if you have a certain time frame you have to stick in, you can't include everything. But for what the event was, I really enjoyed it. Oh, and the pilot. I talked about this before too, but I actually thought it was still enjoyable. Like, lesser quality, definitely. But it was so similar to Death Battle. The way they were talking about it beforehand, I thought it was completely different. Like, they liked the idea and then they kind of overhauled it, you know, made it something else. But they had like the same sound effects, they had the same kind of like, you know, I want to say catchphrases, like, you know, weapons, armor, and skill to find out who would win. But then it would just kind of stay there in that show, because it was who would win. But, you know, Ben, I think that was a really good job for, you know, a one-time thing, you know? It was just a side project, and it turned into this. It turned into Death Battle, you know, something where I was about to say over 9,000, and I just did, but quiet, I know. That many people attended. It was really cool. So I definitely enjoyed attending this event. If you were able to attend, I hope you had a good time. I noticed that the view count dropped, you know, like, kind of significantly, like by a couple thousand after the first little bit. So I don't know if everyone attended the entire time, but it was a lot of fun, and if they do have more live death battles in the future, I'm probably going to watch them. So with all that, thanks for watching! I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot, it really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for my next video. Until then, take care. Cue outro, go!